Alright, so this is Web Design Lesson 3, how to make a list. So either an unordered or an ordered list. Here's going to be your lesson assignment, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think you guys have probably done this kind of assignment before in either writing or science, giving directions, but I'm going to show you how to do it in Web Design. So an unordered list is exactly what it sounds like. It's a list that that is in no particular order. So you use a bullet point, and this would be an unordered list. An ordered list is something that does need order for the list items to make sense. Okay, so this would be an ordered list, and you can use either numeric values or alpha values to list your ordered list, or you can even use Roman numerals. And then we're also going to learn how to insert images today, so that's exciting. Let's go ahead and pull up your note sheet. Okay, I'll pull it up. We'll get started. So in order to do an unordered list, you're just going to type in the code UL. With these lists, you need to close the list before it'll let you move on. So if you keep a list open, it'll constantly let you add list items, and then once you're done, you can close the tag. Now, an ordered list is OL, so whoever came up with this wasn't that creative with these things. Now, whenever you open a list, either unordered or ordered, before there will be a bullet or a number that shows up, you need to designate a list item, and a list item is just an LI tag. You don't need to close this tag, but you do need to close the list tag. I know this is kind of confusing, and I will give you an example once we're done filling this out. Now you can change the list type, which, like for an ordered list, you can change it to be, alpha value, a numeric value, or even a Roman numeral value. And in order to do that, you would do it inside the ordered list or unordered list tag, the beginning tag, and you just do type equals, and you type it. Now you don't need quotation marks for this code. Just type equals and then whatever the value is. And I will go ahead and I'll show you what that looks like on the example. Now, inserting a picture is pretty fun, and we'll use this a lot, so make sure you understand this. Remember, when you save your photo, you want to save it in the same file that you have your HTML code and everything. So you want all of it in the same folder. We'll go back to our note sheet. But in order to insert a picture, you would type in image source equals, and then whatever the name of your picture is, .jpeg, or whatever the file type is, and then end it with quotations. Now remember, this will change if you have a bitmap or a GIF file. That changes along, but most of the time it's a JPEG. Now, picture width, you can resize your picture in the code. Now you can either do it in pixels, which is a type of measurement, or you can do it in percentage. So if you're going to do it, you want to do it inside the image tag, but you would just type width equals and then a pixel value, and you'll have to guess and check with those, or width equals and then a numeric percentage value. And this is the same as with height. And again, you'll be able to play with these to see what they look like. Okay, and the number is a pixel value, and this is a numeric percentage. Alright, now a border, just like in a table or anything, you can add a border to a picture. And you can always change the color and everything. We're just going to practice putting a blank border on a photo. So inside the image tag, you would type in border equals and then a numeric pixel value. Okay, alt text, I don't know if I showed you on the assignment, but I'll show it to you now. Alt text is when you roll your mouse over, it brings up a text box. And so when you do alt text, you choose what you write in that little text box. So back to our note sheet, alt equals, and then anything you type within these quotation marks will be what shows up in the text box. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what this looks like and how the codes would go. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to make a packing list for my vacation, which I'm excited about. So I'll go ahead and start. So remember, you always want to, and you can just watch. You always want to start your notepad with the HTML head, title, your name. You want to close your title, close your head, open your body, close your body, and then close your HTML. This is a good way to start your skeleton. It would be a skeleton code where you can start every page. Now for this particular website, we're going to do a little refresher. I want to have a picture on the background. So we're going to say background equals beach.jpg. Okay, so remember, background, the code background will make for a picture. BG color is for a background color. Now I'm going to go ahead and put vacation list, so I know what the list is, and we'll open my list. So we're going to do an unordered list. Unordered list, and I want the list type to be square. And again, the different types are on the bottom of your note sheet. So type equals square. Okay, so now we should have square bullets. So let's see, what would I pack for my vacation? I'm going to go ahead and pack using the list item here. Remember, you need to signify every time that you have a list item. Swimsuit. Alright, and another list item would be camera. And I also want to bring some flip-flops. Okay, and now we need to close our list. Okay, close our list. So we have our list on our list, and we close our list. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this. I'll open it up for you so you can see what it looks like so far. Okay, so we have our vacation list, swimsuit, camera, and flip-flops. Now the cool thing is when you're doing this, oh, see, my bullets weren't square because I forgot a quotation. So I'll show you that once more. So now we have square bullets. Okay. Now if let's say I want to change it to circle. Save, refresh, now they're circle. And the default, if you don't type anything in, is disk. Okay, I do like the square one, so we'll change it back to square. Now, the neat thing with lists is you can have as many sublists inside of a list that you want. So an example of that would be an unordered list. Underneath my camera, I don't want to forget my battery charger. And I don't want to forget, oh yeah, so list, unordered list, and then I need to make sure I have a list item, battery charger, and I don't want to forget my memory card. Okay, and now I can close that list. I'll show you what we did over here. So now that we did a sublist, it automatically does it for us. So as long as we open a list and close a list, you can do as many lists as you want. So that's kind of neat. Now, if I'm going to also list, maybe I want to list my vacation destinations. And I want to list them in order. Okay, you would do an ordered list, and I want to go type equals number. Okay, unordered list, type equals number. Now list item, I'm going to go to let's see, Mazatlan. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to go to Cabo. Alright, and then we'll close that list. Let's see what we have. Right, so now it gives us a number. Let's say we wanted to change that type to be alphabet. Save. Now it will change it to alphabet. So that's kind of cool. You can do the different types of ordering. And the same thing works with the sublist in there. Now let's say you want to do an order list, type 1, start equals 5. And I'm guessing on this. I think this is how it works. Yep. And you can start it on a different value besides 1. Or A, B, or C. You could change it to start on T. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how you insert an image. Okay, so we're down here. I'm going to go ahead and insert an image of some flip-flops. So image source equals flip-flops.jpg. Alright, I want the width to equal 25% of the screen. I want there to be a border equal to 4. And I want the alt text to say flippy floppies. Okay, save. Refresh that, and there's my pictures of my flip-flops. And we have the border, and everything's good. Alright, so now that you kind of have an idea of how this works, and I know it's kind of confusing, especially with the text being so huge. Make it smaller. Okay, you can kind of see how this is all done in tags. So the image, anything that have to do with the image is all in the same image tag. Alright, now we'll go ahead and start our lesson assignment. Okay, so our lesson assignment, you have the instructions over here. It gives you the background, so you need to make sure that you have already downloaded the PB&J background and you've downloaded the image. You're going to go ahead and set it up just like we had it before with Notepad, right? So go ahead and do, while we're starting this, you want to do your skeleton tag. Don't forget to put your name. Okay, close your title, close your head, open your body, close your body, and then close your HTML. Nice. Alright, so to get started, you want to change your background image. Remember, background equals, and the name of the picture is PB&J JPEG. Okay, and then you're going to go from here. Now, remember, it's going to tell you header 1, header 2. These are both things from the previous assignment. Now, line 1 where it says supplies needed, that is not part of the list. So you can just type that text in. And remember, it's going to say line center. You want it bold, underline, and make it size 6. In this assignment, it gives you the style of text, a font that you're going to want. So as long as you open a font tag and choose style and color, it should stay throughout the whole thing unless you close the font tag. Now you can change the size throughout the assignment without having to close the font tag. You can just say size equals, and it will change the size without changing the color or the font. Now pay attention to the breaks. If it says ×2, you want to put break twice. So BR, BR. And it'll tell you here where it's unordered and ordered. And all of these start with 1, and then they have regular, the default bullets, but you can change anything that you want. Okay, and then at the end here, you insert the image. So it says image 1, it tells you what border, alt text, and then you align center the last little bit of text there. Anyway, I think you guys will do great, and then the follow-up assignment is you create your own how-to list, and it can be how-to to do anything that you know, even if it's something kind of silly, how to take a photo, how to tie your shoe. You're just going to go ahead and practice this. Now on your assignment, I want you to try different list types, and maybe even a sublist if you can. Alright, well, good luck, and remember, ask if you have any questions.